It starts with a low hum, recognizable, unmistakable. A few bars in, the harmony hits. Suddenly, listeners are taken aback. It's not just one legend, there are two. When news broke that the legendary singer had teamed up with another rock icon for a surprise cover, no one quite expected this pairing nor this song. The track? A stripped down, soulful version of Radiohead's Creep. Not exactly the go to tune for two musicians whose prime came decades earlier during the heyday of classic rock. But that's exactly what made it riveting. Recorded in a minimalist studio setup in Laurel Canyon, the duo sat facing each other, guitars in hand. No big label pressure, no flashy production, just raw talent aged like fine wine. The session, now released on YouTube and streaming platforms, has already garnered millions of views within days. The comments section reads like a digital love letter from fans across generations. Didn't expect to cry today. This version is haunting. Two icons, one masterpiece. It began, according to insiders, with a conversation over coffee. The two rockers had known each other since the 70s, crossing paths on festival lineups, late night jam sessions, and the occasional award show. But they'd never collaborated until now. I just called him, the 76-year-old said in a behind the scenes clip. I had this idea. What if we did something unexpected? Just one track, no pressure, just for the love of it. The other legend, famous for a raspy voice and untamed guitar solos, was on board instantly. But why Creep? I think it's one of the most misunderstood songs of our time. The singer explained. People see it as angsty or self loathing, but there's a quiet strength in owning how you feel, even when it's not pretty. That spoke to both of us. The recording session was reportedly completed in one afternoon. One take, the producer said, shaking his head in awe. They nailed it in one take. We added a few touches after, but the core of it, the emotion, that was all in the room that day. What emerged was a hauntingly beautiful rendition. Gone was the grunge angst of the original. In its place, a weathered tenderness. When the 76-year-old crooned, I don't belong here, it carried the weight of a life lived in the spotlight through heartbreak, triumph, and reinvention. Fans weren't the only ones moved. Tom York, the original songwriter, shared the cover on social media with a single word: stunning. A rare nod from an artist notoriously protective of his work. And while the duet may seem like a one-off novelty, both singers hint at more. We didn't expect it to take off like this, the second legend admitted, but we've got ideas. This might just be the beginning. The buzz has sparked a wave of nostalgia and admiration in the industry. Younger artists are tweeting about the collaboration, while longtime fans are dusting off vinyls and remembering where they were the first time they heard either of the two rockers' solo hits. But more than anything, the cover has sparked conversations about longevity, about creativity defying age, and about the courage to reinterpret something modern through an older, wiser lens. Critics are praising the cover as one of the most impactful reimaginings of a contemporary song in years. Rolling Stone called it a masterclass in musical storytelling, while Pitchfork described it as melancholy and majestic. The video itself, intimate, black and white, features nothing more than the two artists sitting across from one another. No special effects, no distractions, just expressions, eye contact, and the slow strumming of a shared journey. It's hard to listen to the song without hearing echoes of their respective legacies. The arena tours, the stadium anthems, the wild years, and quiet reinventions. Yet in this moment, they're not living legends. They're just two men with guitars sharing a feeling that transcends fame. Interestingly, neither artist promoted the release beforehand. It dropped unannounced, without marketing or teaser campaigns. We wanted the music to speak for itself, said the 76-year-old. No hype, just feeling. That decision paid off. The authenticity of the moment struck a chord, no pun intended, in an industry saturated with polished perfection and algorithm-chasing hits. This cover was refreshingly human. Perhaps most touching is the way their voices blend, grit and soul, weathered tones meeting in harmony. It's not perfect, And that's precisely what makes it beautiful. There are cracks, slight timing slips, and audible breaths, each one adding a layer of realness. In a culture that often sidelines older artists, this duet has served as a reminder. Artistry doesn't expire, emotion doesn't fade. In fact, with time, it can deepen, evolve, and surprise even the artists themselves.